Hey, welcome back to our journey here at Canines and Felines. Today we're here in the kitchen early in the morning, going to be making some bone broth. I had promised you we would have healthy food here for our canines, and I could not think of a better recipe to share with you guys than bone broth. Bone broth is good for liver detoxification. The dogs get out there and eat anything. Not only eat it, they'll roll in it sometimes too. For their immune system, for their joints, for their skin. It is excellent to add to your homemade dog foods, which we do. But not only that, if you have a sick dog or if you have a pregnant dog or a dog that's just they're an older dog where their appetite has gone down, the bone broth, it is so tasty, they will lick that up in a minute where they refuse some of their other foods. You can use most any kind of bone for your bone broth. You can use joints, you can use marrow bones, oxtail, short ribs, knuckles. You can even use chicken bones. What we are using is marrow bones here that is locally sourced. We're going to roast our bones. So preheat your oven to 450 degrees and add your bones. You could do it in a roasting pan. I'm using a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. So just add your bones on here, and then we're going to put these in the oven for about 30 minutes. Now, why are we going to roast them? Okay, that's a really good question. So, by roasting the bones, it helps to caramelize the meat on the outside and the bone itself, and it will give you a more robust flavor of bone broth. I'm going to pop this in the oven for 30 minutes. Then I'll come back and I'll show you our next step. Our bones have braised. I'm going to make this bone broth in my crock pot. So add your bones over into your crock pot. Guys, you wouldn't believe it, but this house smells good. Even though we're not going to be eating this, you could by all means. It is safe for human consumption. Just get all of them added over in there. Them bones, them bones. I'm also adding some fresh turmeric that we sourced right from our backyard. You could find this as well at Whole Foods. I know that Sprouts carries it also, but this is an extra additive. It's an anti-inflammatory, so add it right in. One half of a cup of apple cider vinegar. We are using the Bragg. What the apple cider vinegar will do is help bleh, pull, I get it out, help pull the nutrients out of those bones so that it makes your bone broth even more beneficial. Lastly, you will add 3 to 4 quarts of water. Then we're going to turn the crock pot on high for 4 hours, and then we'll turn it down on low for 8 to 12 hours. The longer you cook your bones, the more nutrients that you will pull out of those. Our bones have cooked for 14 hours. Remove your bones from your broth. Now, there is some meat on these bones. You'll see this hanging off here. I will remove that once this cools. And what is lean enough, I will feed to my dog. You do not want to feed these bones to your dogs that have already been cooked because they will splinter. So, this is not a doggy treat. And then strain your broth. All of our broth is strained now, so you'll see that all the little pieces are gone. Now, all of this fat that you see on the top, we're going to place this in the refrigerator until all of the fat hardens on the top. When your bone broth completely cools and the grease rises to the top, then you're going to take this grease and you're going to dispose of it. This fat is hard for your dog to digest, so we want to get rid of it. Just use whatever tool in your kitchen that you want to get this off, and you're just going to skim it off. Just like that. Remove all of it. Your bone broth will keep in the refrigerator up to 7 days. Any extra that you have left over, you can freeze this. I'll be freezing this for to give my dogs or to add to recipes. I'm going to put all the nutritional benefits to bone broth down in the description as well as the recipe. I hope that you have found this recipe to be informative. And if you did, give us a thumbs up. If you are new here, hit those subscribe and definitely hit those notifications so that you get all of our videos as they post. And until next time, you guys take care of those canines and felines.